Hello. Welcome to Snyder's, that's me, Music Biz News. The first story I want to bring to you is about a man in Texas who was at a charity auction and bid $4,000 American for a certified signed guitar by Taylor Swift. And so he won the bid, $4,000, and went up on stage, took a hammer, and decided to just beat the crap out of it. It's a good use of $4,000. The spokesperson for the event said, "I know maybe it seemed malicious, but everyone was laughing. There were people who joked that he's mad because he doesn't know how to play guitar." Well, I'd say he used $4,000 crazy if he doesn't know how to play guitar and so decides to smash it. Of course, he's trying to make a statement, but the irony of this is that this article saying, questions have arisen regarding the guitar's authenticity. Despite the supposed certificate, sources close to Swift's merch company confirmed that the instrument wasn't signed by Taylor Swift. Maybe it was George Swift from somewhere else, I don't know. But supposedly the guitar at that time later was put on eBay with a starting price of just $100. So you can maybe go out and find this broken guitar not signed by Taylor Swift to add to your arsenal of broken guitars if you don't know how to play guitar. Okay, the second article is from Wired magazine, and most of you out there probably have hard drives in your closet that contain all that beautiful music that you have been recording over the years. And according to this article in Wired, hard drives are dying. And the quote is, musicians and studios now digging into their archives to remaster tracks often find that drives, even when stored at industry standard temperature and humidity, have failed in some way, with no partial recovery option available. At least with tape, a 2-inch tape that has your music on it that you recorded to, you can bake tape so that it sort of holds together while you fly the tracks into a digital audio system of some type. Hard drives fail, and that's it. There's no option to recover them. The company that was mentioned in this article mentioned that people were coming to them with, like a record on a hard drive, and that hard drive had crashed, but they had made a safety drive, but it also was a brick, and there's no way to recover it. So if all of your music, all of your life's work is on a hard drive somewhere in a closet, you might want to make a backup of your backup of your backup, and maybe save it to the cloud, maybe burn it to CD, maybe burn it to vinyl, who knows? But those hard drives, it's not a matter of if, it's when they're going to crash. So save the hard drives. The third article that I found sort of interesting was poor Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd just sold their catalog to Sony, their recorded music catalog and the likenesses, like the album covers and stuff, to Sony for $400 million. Now, the sad part is they had to discount from $500 million because Roger Waters made some controversial statements about Israel and Ukraine. And originally they were asking $500 million for the catalog to be purchased, but they had to discount it $100 million because companies were worried of the stigma of buying this catalog after these things that Roger had been quoted as saying. He was even dropped by his record label, BMG, for the things he said. So this is a case of when you just open your mouth, costing $100 million. Now, don't worry, he and Dave Gilmour still own the songwriting credits. So every time these songs are played, like on the radio or on TV or whatever, as songwriters, they still get their royalties. It's just the recordings of the songs that they sold for a measly $400 million. And I might start a GoFundMe just for them. Poor guys. Anyway, which leads to the next story. The first story is about a country songwriter named Hugh Prestwood. And he died in September. And he had a bunch of songs that were cut by some major artists like Randy Travis and Alison Krauss and Jimmy Buffett. So he was a very successful country songwriter. He also was an artist, but mostly he made his money from royalties from songs. However, by 2022, he was facing tough times. His royalties from songwriting credits dried up. And the talent pool, the demand for professional country songwriters, faced a major retraction downward to only a few select names. Just a few select songwriters were still being successful in placing some songs. And as the royalties dried up, he had to sell his house. He got booted out of his apartment. He became disabled, basically bankrupt, even with all these big hits. So the good side of this is the country music community in Nashville and elsewhere started a GoFundMe and raised over $120,000, which still shows that there is goodness in our industry. Good for them. But what I found interesting was this quote: "The plight facing so many of country music's former songwriters who were sidelined beginning in the 2000s and exacerbated in the bro country era when the population of songwriting contributions dropped by 90%. So if your dream is to write the next 3 chords in the truth song that will be cut by a major artist, you probably want to not give up that day gig, but hang in there. You never know. It's always been like winning the lottery, getting a hit song. So the final article that I want to bring to you is sort of the reason that I'm doing this YouTube channel. That basically Gen Zers see themselves as online content creators. YouTube did a survey, found that 65% of Gen Zers describe themselves as content creators, and 82% of 18 to 44-year-olds have posted content. They're actively moving audience behavior from passive viewing to finding and adding their voices to a unique content dialogue. It's the most aspirational job for Gen Zers today, and the barrier to entry is so low. It's so low that even maybe Snyder can do it. We'll see. But it's also so low because what they are creating is organic. It's raw. It's real. It's not overproduced. It's not created by professional podcasters. They leave the mistakes in, which is what I'm doing, obviously. So all of you students that I've had in the past who were trying to tell me things have changed from the way I used to see the music industry, and this is the direction it's going in. Well, now I hear you, and it's good to see you. And hopefully you don't mind this old boomer trying to elbow his way into being a content creator along with you. So thanks for giving me a little bit of space. Hopefully I'll do okay. The final segment is my segment by Jonesy the cat called Cat Shit Crazy. something that Jonesy picks that he thinks is interesting that I should stick into these videos. So be sure to hang out to the very end of these videos to figure out what Jonesy thinks is cool. So what he picked was this set of new high-def, high-tech hearing devices that all of you recording engineers should definitely go out, find, and buy. You can hear a pin drop with these. They are so good, you probably won't even need studio monitors. If you're an audiophile, think you could be a mile away and still hear that Dark Side of the Moon album like you've never ever heard it before. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. These are hearing devices used by the Dutch during World War II to listen for bombers, for aircraft coming from Germany to bomb the Netherlands or wherever. This is before radar. So this is how they could tell if a flight of bombers would head in their direction and they might want to take cover. But if you find a pair of these, you should definitely buy them, according to Jonesy, and your hearing will just increase 1,000-fold. Very high def. Forget VR. Buy these instead. So hopefully you enjoyed my first episode. Be sure and stay for the second that I'm already working on. I've already got 5 stories picked out. And all of the stories I have linked in the comments below so you can read the full article of each one if you want to go a little deeper into each one, if you find them interesting. But anyway, thank you for joining me on my first episode. And like everybody else says, be sure and like and share and subscribe, I guess, or not. Either way, watch for episode 2 coming soon. I'll be doing one of these a week. Thanks for dropping in. Bye.